previous video we looked at the Arduino sketch for node 1. I'm now going to show you how I install the node 1 into JMRI. So in JMRI we need to go to Edit, Preferences, and we're going to add a new connection. It's going to be a CMRI connection, and it's going to be on the serial. We're going to call this one bus. We're not going to mess with the nodes just at the moment. We do need to tell it what COM port. So in this demonstration I'm on COM port 3, and we click Save. We must restart, so no problem. You will notice on startup you have a bus using the serial on COM port 3 here, and up here you also have bus. This is what we need. There are many ways we could add the node, but this is the way I prefer to do it. So if we go to bus, configure node, here we can add a new node. The first thing we need to do is add the node number here. So ours is going to be node 1. We then need to decide what we want it to be. We are going to go with the S Mini. If I was using a Mega with more channels or more outputs and inputs, I would use USIC, but we're going to stick with this one. We will give it a name, so I'm going to call it node 1. You want to make sure the enabled is ticked, and then we add the node. Click on Done. Obviously, we'll remind you to save your tables, and then click on Done. The next thing I need to do is set up the inputs and the outputs for node 1. So for the spot detection sensors, I need to go to Tools, Table, and Sensors. I need to set the page to the bus, and I need to add sensors. The address is going to be 1002, and the username I will set up as S1. I'm going to add multiple versions of it, so I need 5 of them, and click on Create. That's them set up. Now I do also have a state being sent for the turnout, so I can add that as well at the same time, and that one is on 1001, and that will be turnout 1 peel. Create. So that is my sensors all set up, so that is no problem. I also now would recommend you store the tables and the content. We can also set up the turnout at this point. So we go to the turnout, again to the bus, and add, and this is going to be on address 1001, and we're going to give it a name T1. Click on Create. It's going to ask you, do you want to use 1-bit or 2-bit? I'm going to use 1-bit, and I'm going to use steady state output. Again, I recommend you store your tables at this point. The next thing we're going to set up is signal heads. So again, here we click on Add. We're going to use double output. We're going to give them a name. So in this case, I use SH1, and this will be SH1. We're going to create a new, and this is going to be on the bus, and this we will give address 1002, and for the red this will be on 1003. We then click on Create, and then we can close this down. This then gives us various states that the signal head can be in. At the moment I now need to create another 2 signal heads. I will do this offline and come back. Here you can see I now have the 3 heads all set up. The next thing I need to do is go into the control panel view. I need to go into options and set the edit mode. And I'm going to next place the 3 signal heads into this area here. To make this easier, if you go to zoom 3 times, scroll down the page, and if you look here we have signal head icon. So if we click on there, and in the drop down box we will choose signal head 1. Next we need to press the shift key and the left mouse button to place the signal. Here you can see it's facing the wrong way, so we right click and we're going to rotate it 270 degrees. I need to do this for the other 2 signal heads. I will do that offline. So now I have the 3 signal heads in position. The next thing I need to do is set up signal logic. To set up the logic, we right click on the icon and go down to edit logic. Here you'll see this screen which we need to now populate. We're going to choose on facing point turnout. Now here we've got a number of options. We've got to tell it what turnout we want to watch. In this case it's turnout 1. Now it also needs to know which blocks are we protecting. So we have to look here, and the sensor we want to protect when the turnout state is closed will be this block, and in my case that is this sensor here. The next one I need to watch for is when the turnout state is thrown. This will be block 2. We click on apply and close. You'll notice it's gone red. This is because it doesn't know what the turnout is doing at the moment. To fix this I need to edit the turnout, and here I need to tell it it's turnout 1 and click on done. As we now operate it, you'll notice the signal stays green. This is at the moment because there is nothing in either of these blocks. I now need to do the same for this one, so we'll edit the logic, and this one is going to be on the main leg. I need it to monitor turnout 1, and I need it to protect the block 3, which is here. Once that's done, click on apply and close. The final one to set up is this one here. So again we'll go into edit logic, and this one is on diverging leg. Again we need to set up turnout 1, and again we're going to protect block 3. Click on apply and close. Now here you'll notice it's gone red because the signal is closed. We change it, it now goes green. Here I've started up the sensor table so you can see the signals working. So if I was to make block 3 active, you'll notice the red signal coming on and going back to green if it's inactive. If I do the same for block 2, you'll notice the other signal has gone red. And hopefully this shows you what you can do with an Arduino Nano, JMRI and CMRI.